So this game is called Psebay, maybe? And it looked like a pretty, you know, like the Flash games where you like drive the motorcycle, and it's like a 2D motorcycle, and it's kind of like a, there was like Trials was like a really famous indie game that did it in 3D, but it was very similar, where you got like this physics motorcycle and it's kind of all about getting it along this 2D path. This game looks similar, but it has like a very pretty art style. So I wanted to check it out. Wow, there's a lot here. Wonder how long each level is. Psebay Road, the forest beginning. Oh, okay, the levels might be very short. Can upgrade my bike in the garage. Garage. These buttons don't fully make sense to me. That's a bit of a confusing menu, I guess is what I'm trying to say. To navigate. Oops. This game is pretty though. I really like the colors and aesthetic they've done here. Oh gosh, that does not feel like the way you're supposed to do that. Oh, yeah. So like all these games, like hitting your head, I think is how you get knocked out. It was saying press A to accelerate, but I think no. So using you can also use the trigger to accelerate, but it's not analog. So it really is just all or nothing. Because I would have loved to like feather it more, you know. This is going to be the challenge. Oh no. Oh, look at that background. I'm getting distracted. Getting distracted. Oh, come on. Gosh, I really do like how this game looks. Nice. I'm getting a feel for it. What is that? Whoa! It was a lag spike is what it was. Oh, that was really cool though. There we go. Sorry, I had to check a Slack message. Cool, so those like little, the like cloudy things will maybe change the orientation. I really like, you know, it's like if Trials met Limbo, you know, like it's a really nice fusion. Oh, come on. Like I like this fusion of genres. And it feels pretty good to play. Like it's touchy, because you can't there's no analog control on the acceleration, but once you kind of figure out that it's all about very light, very light touches. I don't even know how I'm gonna, oh, maybe if I brake to reverse. All right. There. Oh, I think that's a demo. Yeah, so that was just open. That's cool. I think that's really neat. It is, gosh, I really don't like saying it, but it does feel like it borders on feeling like a mobile game. I think a lot of it is this UI. The UI doesn't necessarily fit with the aesthetic of the game. They both are like minimalist, but this doesn't feel it doesn't have the same sort of like dark creepiness that the game has, and so this feels more just like buttons that you tap with your finger, you know. But yeah, let's check out this infinite mode. 8 meters, heck yeah. So is it randomly generated every time? This is different, I think. I also like that the motorcycle has the display on it. It had the timer for the regular levels too. Oh no. gonna get the world record. No! That's my hubris. I wish it would show me the leaderboards or something. Maybe there aren't leaderboards. Maybe it's just like a social, like you're just supposed to share with your friends verbally. I wish that this, I mean, I guess, so that's a question. Like the first world that I played those first 10 levels on introduced the game, and then it introduced that concept of like changing gravity, where you know, you hit those foggy pips and the whole gravity shifts. And like, what I'm curious about is like, is that just like the theme of the first world? And then in the second world, does it introduce a new mechanic? Because that would be really great. You know, because like in my mind, like I would love it if this infinite one had those sort of gravity changes in them as well. Just to, you know, you'd be able to, like right now this is just like going for forever, right? But if you had introduced the mechanics that were in the kind of main portion of the game, I think that would certainly be interesting as well. And I'm curious, like if in those other worlds, are there aesthetic changes, you know? Does the whole game look the same? Even just like a color palette swap on World 2 to like something more vibrant or something even darker would be really interesting. Oh gosh, there's no way. There we go. Because like this infinite, oh damn, this infinite mode is like, you know, the end game activity, I would guess, right? Like if you're not doing the story, you want to do this infinite mode. But so like you'd want the infinite mode to introduce all the things from the story to keep it fresh, rather than keep the infinite mode as like the most simple, just basic stuff. I lost the front of my tire. Okay, well, I take back what I said about unexpected things happening. I've gotten a lot better at driving this thing, though. I say. Dude, this feels good. I like how it looks. I like how it plays. You know, I blitzed through those first 10 levels, and what was successful about it is that it did want me, it left me wanting more, right? Which is exactly what a good demo should do. And so like I would love it if this game was like exactly that difficulty curve and 2 hours, or like 3 hours. That sounds like so much, like such a, like, I don't know, just like a great thing to just put on a Steam Deck, and just, you know, chip away at in a weekend or something like that. Like that sounds like a really great time. So I'm very happy with how this game is. I think the only real like complaint I have is that the UI for the game feels counter to this gloomy, oh, I wedged myself. It feels counter to like this gloomy atmosphere, and it doesn't quite fit. But you know, UI is one thing, and the gameplay is much more important in this type of game, and it feels good. I wonder what analog input would feel like, but that would again make mouse and keyboard control disadvantaged, I guess. So you don't want to like build puzzles around that, and so simplifying it just to the single, like you only get this discrete thing in both mouse and keyboard. Oh god, both mouse and keyboard and controller users kind of have to experience it the same. And maybe even mobile users. I don't know if this game is, you know, gonna be on mobile, but I think that's smart. It helps, like, if you want the actual levels, not the infinite levels, to be very technical, then you'd need to have that even playing field, because then you could design the traversal around extremely specific setups, right? Very tight tolerances. Whereas if some users were allowed to kind of gently feather the motorcycle versus the keyboard users having to either be on or off, I would imagine that the behavior of the bike would be very different. And the ability to do puzzles would also be very different. I also wish, oh gosh, I wish that this little counter would tell me, like, keep track of my personal best, and would like tell me if I beat it right in this moment. Because it's nice that it starts me over really quick, because it makes me not want to put it down. But I don't know if 44 was better or worse than my previous. Like, I think I'd gotten like 41 or something, but it would have been nice to have like just a little bit of fanfare, be like new personal best or whatever. But again, these are all like super small nitpicks. All right, hold on. Yeah, this UI is just a little weird. Account. Well, I don't even. Weird. Yeah, this, I don't know, this UI feels like it's been used in several games, you know? And so that's sort of my problem with it, is that it doesn't fit this game. It's very functional. It's extremely functional. And I don't necessarily have a problem with, you know, UIs that don't quite fit. But, you know, like a good example is, right, old school Valve games, right? Half-Life, Portal, Counter-Strike, and then all those Source Engine games have a very similar UI. Right, those like their options menus are virtually identical. And so, right, that is them reusing that technology, right? They don't need a specific UI, but at the very least they do recolor the UI to fit better. You know, like in Counter-Strike it's like a yellowish green or something like that, whereas Portal it's blue. And so this there's buttons there for like an editor, which is interesting. This feels just a little out of place, I guess. No. Wow. I just pressed triangle on the PlayStation button. What a strange behavior. I think it's probably because they're like stripping functionality for the demo, but they didn't fully strip it. Do you think I could get to that button? Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. Oh, I don't think I'm allowed to, because I don't think it supports controllers. Which makes sense. I'm definitely not supposed to be here then. That's really funny. No. Okay. Oh, I screwed myself. I totally locked myself into this. Oh no, there we go. There we go. Green stars. Wow. This game is, I don't like, man, I'm so curious. It has like a shocking amount of stuff in it. Evgeny Butakov. Make it the whole thing. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know. This game's cool though. For sure. It feels really great. I would definitely, you know, pick it up and check it out. I do hope that, you know, these later levels are doing nice color swaps and maybe introduce a couple extra mechanics. But at the same time, with how quickly I was able to get through those first 10 levels, you know, the rest of the game is maybe only a couple hours more. And so it could probably get away with not introducing much more and still being interesting. So that's cool stuff. That's very cool stuff. I'm glad, I'm very glad that I found it. This is really cool. So that's neat.